Hello, Shalom. Welcome to day 88 of the Daily Bread. We'll be reading in Leviticus chapter 9, 2 Samuel chapter 18, Psalms 89, Proverbs 26, and book of John 5. We'll be in the scriptures. 2009, Leviticus 9 on page 112. And on the 8th day it came to be that Moshe called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel, and he said to Aaron, Take for yourself a young bull as a sin offering and a ram as an ascending offering, a perfect one, and bring them before Yahweh. And speak to the children of Israel, saying, Take a male goat as a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both a year old, perfect ones, as an ascending offering. A bull and a ram as peace offerings to slaughter before Yahweh, and a grain offering mixed with oil. For today Yahweh shall appear to you. And they took what Moshe commanded before the tent of appointment, and all the congregation drew near and stood before Yahweh. And Moshe said, This is the word which Yahweh commanded you to do, so that the esteem of Yahweh appears to you. The glory. And Moshe said to Aaron, Go to the slaughter place, and prepare your sin offering and your ascending offering, and make atonement for yourself and for the people, and make the offering of the people, and make atonement for them, as Yahweh has commanded. So Aaron came near to the slaughter place, and slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself. And the sons of Aaron brought the blood to him, and dipped his finger in the blood, and put it on the horns on the slaughter place, and poured the blood at the base of the slaughter place, and the fat and the kidneys and the appendage of the liver of the sin offering. He burned on the slaughter place, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe. And the flesh and skin was burned with fire outside the camp. And he slew the ascending offering, and the sons of Aaron presented to him the blood, which he sprinkled on the slaughter place all around. And they presented the ascending offering to him, with its pieces and his head, and burned them on the slaughter place. And he washed the entrails and the legs, and burned them with the ascending offering on the slaughter place. And he brought the people's offering, and took the goat, which was the sin offering for the people, and slew it, and made it a sin offering, like the first one. And he brought the ascending offering, and made it according to the right ruling. And he also brought the grain offering, and filled his hand with it, burned it on the slaughter place, besides the ascending offering of the morning. And he slew the bull and the ram as a slaughtering of peace offering, which were for the people. And Aaron's sons presented to him the blood, which he sprinkled on the slaughter place all around, and the fat from the bull and the ram, and the fat tail, and the covering, and the kidneys, and the appendage of the liver. And they placed the fat of the breasts, and he burned the fat on the slaughter place, but the breasts and the right thigh Aaron waved as a wave offering before Yahweh, as Moshe had commanded. Aaron then lifted up his hand toward the people, and blessed them, and came down, and making the sin offering, and the ascending offering, and the peace offering. And Moshe and Aaron went into the tent of appointment, and came out, and blessed the people. And the esteem of Yahweh appeared to the people. And fire came from for Yahweh, and consumed the ascending offering, and the fat of the slaughter place. And all the people saw and cried out and fell on their faces. End of Leviticus chapter 9. Moving over to 2 Samuel chapter 18 on page 335. And David mustered the people who were with him, and set commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds over them. And David sent out 1/3 of the people under the hand of Joab, and 1/3 under the hand of Abish, son of Zeruiah, Joab's brother, and 1/3 under the hand of Ittai the Gittite. And the sovereign said to the people, I shall certainly go out with you too. But the people answered, do not go out, for if we flee away, they would not set a heart upon us. Even if half of us die, they would not set heart upon us. For now 10,000 are like us. Therefore, it is better for you to support us from the city. And the sovereign said to them, that which is good in your eyes I do. And the sovereign stood beside the gate, and the people went out by hundreds and by thousands. And the sovereign ordered Joab and Abish and Ittai, saying, be gentle with the young man Absalom for my sake. And all the people heard when the sovereign gave the commanders orders concerning Absalom. So the people went out into the field to meet Israel, and the battle was in the forest of Ephraim. And the people of Israel were smitten there before the servants of David, and the slaughter there that day was great, 20,000. And the battle there was scattered over the face of all the land, and the forest devoured more people that day than the sword devoured. And when Absalom met the servants of David, Absalom was riding on a mule, and the mule was under the thick branches of the great terebinth tree, and his head caught hold of the terebinth, and he was suspended between the heavens and the earth, while the mule was under him passed on. And a certain man saw it, and informed Joab, and said, look, I saw Absalom hanging in the terebinth tree. And Joab said to the man, who informed him? Now look, you saw, and why did you not strike him to the earth there, when I would have given you 10 pieces of silver and a belt? But the man answered Joab, I thought I were to receive 1,000 pieces of silver in my hand. I would not raise my hand against the son of the sovereign, because in our hearing the sovereign commanded you and Abish and Ittai, saying, take heed, you who go against the youth, against Absalom. Otherwise I would have been untrue to my own life. For no matter is hidden from the sovereign, and you yourself would have set yourself against me. And Joab said, let me not waste time here with you. And he took 3 spears in his hand, and thrust them through Absalom's heart, while he was still alive in the midst of the terebinth tree. And the 10 young men who bore Joab's armor went around, and struck Absalom, and put him to death. And Joab blew with the shofar, and the people returned from pursuing Israel. And Joab had held back the people. And they took Absalom, and threw him in a large pit in the forest, and heaped a very large pile of stones on him. And all Israel fled, each one to his own tent. And Absalom in his lifetime had taken and set up a monument for himself, which is in the sovereign's valley. For he said, I have no son to keep my name in remembrance. And he called the monument after his own name, and to this day it is called Absalom's monument. And Ahivat, son of Sog, said, "Please let me run and take the news to the sovereign, for Yahweh has avenged him of his enemies." But Joab said to him, "You are not the man to take the news today, but you shall take the news another day. But today you do not take the news, because the sovereign's son is dead." And Joab said to the Cushite, "Go, inform the sovereign what you have seen." And the Cushite bowed himself to Joab and ran. And Ahishib, son of Zadok, said again to Joab, "And whatever might be, please let me also run after the Cushite." And Joab said, "Why would you run, my son? There is no news to bring you reward." "And whatever might be," he said, "let me run." So he said to him, "Run." And Ammon ran away by the way of the plain and passed the Cushite. Now David was sitting between the two gates, and the watchman went up to the roof over the gate to the wall, and lifted his eyes and looked, and saw a man running alone. So the watchman called out and told the sovereign, and the sovereign said, "If he is alone, there is news in his mouth." And he came nearer and nearer. And the watchman saw another man running, and the watchman called out to the gatekeeper and said, "See a man running by himself?" And the sovereign said, "This one is also bringing news." And the watchman said, "I see the running of the first is running like the of Ahishib, son of Zadok." And the sovereign said, "This is a good man, and he comes with good news." And Ahishib called out and said to the sovereign, "Peace." And then he bowed down with his face to the earth, went before the sovereign, and said, "Blessed be Yahweh your Elohim, who has surrendered the men who raised their hand against my master the sovereign." And the sovereign said, "Peace to you, peace to the young man, to Absalom." And Ahishib answered, "When Joab sent the sovereign's servant and me, your servant, I saw a great crowd, but did not know why." And the sovereign said, "Turn aside and stand here." And he turned aside and stood there. And see, the Cushite came. And the Cushite said, "Receive news, my master, the sovereign, for Yahweh has avenged you this day of all those who rose against you." And the sovereign said to the Cushite, "Peace to the young man, to Absalom." And Cushite answered, "Let the enemies of my master, the sovereign, and all who rise against you for evil be as that young man is." And the sovereign was shaken, and went up to the room over the gate, and wept. And as he went, he said this, "O my son Absalom, my son Absalom, if only I had died instead of you. O Absalom, my son, my son." On to Psalms 89 on page 697. I sing of the loving commitment of Yahweh forever. With my mouth I make known your trustworthiness to all generations. For I said, loving commitment is built up forever. You establish your trustworthiness in the heavens. You said, I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn to my servant David, I establish your seed forever, and shall build up your throne to all generations. And the heavens praise your wonders, O Yahweh, your trustworthiness too, in the assembly of the set-apart ones. For who in the heavens is comparable to you, to Yahweh? Who among the stories of the mighty is like Yahweh. El is greatly feared in the company of the set apart ones, and awesome above all around him. O Yahweh, Elohim of hosts, who is mighty like you, O Yah, and your trustworthiness is all around you. You rule the swelling of the sea. When its waves rise, you still them. You have broken Rahab in pieces, as one who was slain. You have scattered your enemies with the arm of your strength. The heaven are yours, the earth also yours, the world and all that fills it. You have founded them, north and south you have created them. Tabor and Haman rejoice in your name. You have a mighty arm, your hand is strong, your right hand exalted, righteous and right ruling are the foundations of your throne. Loving commitment and truth go before Yahweh. Loving and truth go before your face. Blessed are the people who know the sounding. They walk, O Yahweh, in the light of your face. In your name they rejoice all day long, and they are exalted in your righteousness. For you are the comeliness of their strength, and by your good pleasure our horn is exalted. For Yahweh is our shield, and the set apart one of Israel is our sovereign. When you spoke in a vision to your loving committed ones, and you said, I have given help to one who is mighty. I have exalted one chosen from the people. I have found my servant David, and with my set apart oil I anointed him, with whom my hand is established. My arm also strengthens him. No enemy subjects him to tribute, and no son of wickedness afflicts him. His adversaries before his face, and plague those who hate him. But my trustworthiness and my loving commitment are with him, and in my name his horn is exalted. And I shall set his hand on the sea, and his right hand on the rivers. He calls out to me, You are my Father, my El, and the rock of my deliverance. I also appoint him firstborn, highest of the sovereigns of the earth. I guard my loving commitment for him forever, and my covenant and steadfast with him. And I shall establish his seed forever, and his throne as the day of the heavens. If his sons forsake my Torah, and do not walk in my right rulings, if they profane my laws, and do not guard my commands, then I shall visit their transgressions with the rod, and their crookedness with flogging. But my loving commitment I do not take away from him, nor be false to my trustworthiness. I shall not profane my covenant, neither would I change what has gone out from my lips. Once I have sworn by my set apartness, I do not lie to David. His seed shall be forever, and his throne as the sun before me, like the moon, it is established forever. And the witness in the heaven is steadfast, Selah. Yet you have rejected and spurned, you have been wroth with your anointed. You have disowned the covenant of your servant. You have defiled his deed in the dust. You have broken down all his hedges. You have brought his strongholds to ruin. All who pass by the way plunder him. He is a reproach to his neighbors. You have exalted his right hand of his adversaries. You have made all his enemies rejoice. Moreover, you have turned back the edge of his sword, and have not made him stand in battle. You have brought an end to his splendor. You have hurled his throne to the ground. You have shortened the days of his youth. You have covered him with shame, Selah. How long, O Yahweh, would you be hidden? Would your wrath burn like fire forever? Please remember how short my time is. Why should you create all? Why should you have created all the sons of men for naught? What man would live and not see death? Who rescues his life from the power of Sheol, Salah? Yahweh, where are your former loving commitments, which you swore to David in your trustworthiness? Yahweh, remember the reproach of your servants that I have bore in my bosom, of all the many peoples with which your enemies have reproached, O Yahweh, with which they have reproached the footsteps of your anointed. Blessed be Yahweh forever. Amen and amen. On the Proverbs 26 on page 752. Like snow in summer and rain in harvest, so esteem is not fitting for a fool. As a bird wanders, as a swallow flies about, so a curse without cause does not come. A whip for a horse and a bridle for a donkey, and a rod for a fool's back. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you become like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he become wise in his own eyes. He who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off feet and drinks damage. The legs of the lame hang limp. So is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Like one binding a stone in a sling, so is he who gives esteem to a fool. A thorn goes into the hand of a drunkard, so is a proverb in the mouth of fools. An archer who wounds anyone is he who hires a fool or passerby. As a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Have you seen a man wise in his own eyes? There is more expectancy for a fool than for him. The lazy one says, there is a lion in the way, a fierce lion in the streets. As a door turns on its hinges, so does the lazy one turn in his bed. The lazy one buries his hand in a dish. It tires him to bring him back to his mouth. The lazy one is wiser in his own eyes than 7 rendering a voice. A passer-by meddling in strife, not his own, is like one who takes hold of a dog by the ears, like a madman who throws sparks, arrows, and death. So is a man who deceived his neighbor, and say, I was only joking. For lack of wood the fire goes out, and without a slander strife ceases. As charcoal is burning coals, and wood the fire, so a contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a slanderer are as dainty morsels, which go down into the inner parts of the heart. Burning lips with an evil heart are like earthenware covered with silver dross. He who hates pretends with his lips, and lays up deceit within him. Though he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Hatred is covered by deceit, and evil is disclosed in the assembly. Whoever digs a pit falls into it, and whoever rolls a stone, it turns back on him. A lying tongue hates its bruised ones, and a flattering mouth works ruin. On to John chapter 5 on page 1026. And after was a festival of the Judean, and Yeshua went up to Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem at the sheep gate there is a pool, which is called in Hebrew Beth Zehath, having 5 porches. And in there were lying a great number of those who were sick, blind, crippled, paralyzed, waiting for the stirring of the water. For a messenger was going down at a certain time in the pool and stirring the water. Whoever stepped in first, then, after the stirring of the water, became well of whatever disease he had. And a certain man was there who had sickness 38 years. And Yeshua saw him lying there, and knowing that he had already been a long time, he said to him, "Do you wish to become well?" The sick man answered him, "Master, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred. But while I am coming, another steps down on me, before me." Yeshua said to him, "Rise, take up your bed and walk." And immediately the man became well, and he stood up from his bed and walking. Now it was the Sabbath on that day, and the Judean therefore said to him, who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. It is not right for you to take up your bed." And he answered them and said, "He who had made me well said to me, 'Take up your bed and walk.'" And therefore they asked him, "Who is the man who said this to you, 'Take up your bed and walk'?" But the one who had healed did not know. But the one who was healed did not know who it was, for Yeshua had moved away, a crowd being in that place. Afterward Yeshua found him in the set-apart place, and said to him, "See, you have been made well. Sin no more, so that no worse matter befalls you." And the man went away and told the Judean that it was Yeshua who made him well. And because of this, the Judean persecuted Yeshua, and were seeking to kill him, because he had done these healings on the Sabbath. But Yeshua answered them and said, "My Father worked until now, and I work." Because of this, then, the Judean were seeking all the more to kill him, because not only was he breaking the Sabbath, but he also called Elohim his own Father, making himself equal to the Elohim, making him equal with Elohim. Therefore Yeshua responded and said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, the Son is able to do none at all by himself, but only with which he sees the Father doing, because whatever he does, the Son also likewise does. For the Father loves the Son, and shows him all that he himself does, and greater works than these he is going to show him, in order that you marvel. For as the Father raises the dead and makes alive, even so the Son makes alive whom he wishes. For the Father judges no one, but has given all the judgment to the Son, that should all value the Son, even as they value the Father. He who does not value the Son does not value the Father who sent him. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who hears my word and believes in him who sent me possesses everlasting life, and does not come into judgment, but has passed from death into life. Truly, truly, I say to you, the hour is coming, and now, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Elohim, and having heard shall live. For as the Father possesses life in himself, so he gave also to the Son the possession of life in himself. And he has given him authority also to do judgment, because he is the son of Adam. Do not marvel at this, because the hour is coming in which all those in the tombs shall hear his voice, and shall come forth those who have done good, to the resurrection of life, and those who practice evil matters to resurrect of judgment. O myself, I am unable to do any matter. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is righteous, because I do not seek my own desire, out of the desire of the Father who sent me. If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There is another who bears witness of me, and I know that the witness which he witnessed of me is true. You have sent to John, and he bore witness to the truth. But I do not receive witness from man, but I say this in order that you might be saved. He was burning and shining lamp, and for a while you wish to rejoice in his light. But I have a greater witness than that of Johann. For the works of the Father gave me to accomplish, the works that I do bear witness of me, that the Father has sent me. And the Father who has sent me, he bore witness of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time nor seen his form. And you do not have his words staying in you, because you do not believe him whom he sent. You search the scriptures because you think you possess everlasting life in them. And these are the ones that bear witness of me. But you do not desire to come to me in order to possess life. I do not receive esteem from men, but I know you, that you do not have the love of Elohim in you. I have come in my Father's name, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, him you would receive. How are you able to believe when you are receiving esteem from one another, and the esteem that is how are you able to believe when you are receiving esteem from one another, and the esteem that is from the only Elohim you do not seek? Do you think that I shall accuse you to the Father? There is one who accuses you, Moshe, in whom you have set your expectation. If you believed Moshe, you would have believed me, since he wrote about me. But if you do not believe his writings, how shall you believe my words? Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible and talk to the Father.